We're going to get started. This is our annual Jamestown Community Baseball LLC report to the community. We're also known as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. And so we're honored to have this opportunity, and it's being broadcast. So it's worldwide recognition today of everything. And I want to thank David Niles and Ed Tomasini and the Jackson Center for making this place available, as it is a busy time. They have a program which make sure you take advantage of starting next weekend. Very professional actors will be here putting on a Christmas Carol. And so we look forward to having you return then. But it was a great year. You'll hear more about it from Christian on behalf of the board of the Jamestown Community Baseball, which is very active all year round, 24/7. Couldn't have been more happy with everything. And so we're here to report some of that, and again, you'll hear from Christian. But to wrap our heads around this, to get focused, is we had a lot of thrills last year at the ballpark, and the guy who broadcast all of those thrills was Dre Guinness. So I'm going to introduce Dre. If you want to come forward and just do a brief introduction, and then he's put together sort of a montage highlight film to wrap our head around it. So Dre Guinness.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day for at least talking about Tarp Skunks baseball. Days like this make you appreciate warm summer days in June and July at Dietrich Park. In 2024, I put together a top 10 list of the top 10 plays for that season, and that was my intention this season. However, the number of records offensively that this team broke made that absolutely impossible, so I decided to go through and put a almost 10-minute video together of the best of 2025, including probably the most historic event that happened at Dietrich Park, the Christian Pensick no-hitter. So with that, 2025 in review.
Line drive into center field. That one is going to be caught by a diving Matthew Dumas in center. And the pitch. There's a little flare out into left center field. Diving is Dumas to make the catch out in center field. Somebody call Sports Center because we just got ourselves a web gem.
Line drive down the right field line. That is going to be extra bases. Hit the bag at first and turning the corner is Slanker. He's going to have a shot at third as the ball is slow to come back to the infield. A stand-up triple for Ben Slanker. Welcome to the Tarp Skunks.
There's a line drive into right field. Going back on it is Brown. It's over his head. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Rounding third and heading to the plate is Justin Bremner. The throw coming in is going to be way too high. It gets behind the catcher. Coming in and scoring on the Area's board chart. A triple with an RBI and a run scored, and it's 4-2.
High chopper toward short. Marshall has it. Long throw over to first. In time. That's his best play of the day. 2 outs. The pitch. Weak chopper toward third. Weeks has to charge and throw to first. In time. They got him. And Bell doing a solid job here, and that one is called. Strike 3. Pat's got caught looking, and that is the final out of the inning. Nothing doing for the American. 3-2. Called strike 3. Serrano with his 8th strikeout of the night. There's a line drive back to Taylor. Excuse me, look what I found. 26. Give you the line on Pensick coming into the game 1-1 as a bunt right back to the pitcher. Throw on to first. And the sacrifice is as there's a sharp ground ball to short. Marshall looked at third for a second. Throw on to first. And there are 2 away, as Kierwin will advance to third.
But he's built like a pitcher. Here's a fly ball in the center field.
Dumas circles under it, puts it away, and the side's retired. 1 runner left on the hit by pitch. We go to the bottom of the first inning. It's Auburn nothing. The Tarp Skunks coming to bat. But that one called strike three. Sullivan, Texas hot boxes in the longest yardage. There's a ground ball to Marshall at short. Throws on to first. Easy play, 2 away. And the pitch, runner goes. Swung on, grounded ball right to second. Picked up by Lagoni, who steps on the bag. And the sides retired. No runs, a runner left. Over for Tommy Kierland. As the first pitch is grounded towards second, Lagoni has it. Flips over to Smith at first. 1 pitch, 1 away here in the top of the third inning.
He could go a bit of a ways. That's important for a doubleheader. And he got the batter looking there.
Strike three. The pitch. Ground ball towards second. Lagoni, easy play. Flips onto first. And the side is retired. Nothing doing. Continue. 7. His counterpart, 36, as there's a loud line drive out to center, but Dumas easily under it, gloves it, and puts it away for out number 1. Out of his hands there. And it's the 2-1. There's a fly ball, shallow left. Coming in is Herman. He'll put it away for out number 2. In the pitch. There's a fly ball to center. Dumas trots in, makes the catch, and a 1-2-3 inning for Christian Pensek. And very unique, as there's a high fly ball left center field. Who's going to get under it? Blake Herman gloves it for the first out. And the pitch. Weak chopper towards short. Marshall gloves it, throws to first in time. And there are 2 away.
Pensick.
Definitely keeping a good rhythm as Brady Marshall picks it up at short, throwing to first, and the side's retired. Nothing doing for the Double Days. We're going to go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 1-0 Jamestown. There's a ground ball to short. Nice glove by Marshall, throwing to first in time, and there's 1 away. It's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fly ball. Left field shallow, heading toward the line. Divings! Catch by Blake Herman. And I don't know if that was fair or foul territory, but it was darn close enough to preserve the beautiful outing by Christian Pensek.
And he's down and hurt.
2-2. Swing and a miss.
Giroux going down for the second time today to end the top of the 6th inning. He rounded out his second plate appearance.
There's a ground ball to first, picked up by Smith. He'll take it to the bag himself. And 1 away here in the top of the 7th inning. Fires, swing and a miss. And Keogh goes down on strikes for the second out. Goes swinging. There's a fly ball out to center field. Dumas underneath it, puts it away, and Christian Pensek throws a 7-inning no-hitter here in Jamestown. 0-1. There's a high fly ball left field. Going back on it is Kierland, still going back, and it is gone! Jacob Haynes with a 2-run homer here in the bottom. The pitch. There's a high fly ball left field and deep. Going back on it is Turner, still going back, looking up, and it's gone! Eric Weeks hit it high and watch it fly. A 2-run. Back 30 years. There's a high fly ball left center field. Going back on it is Baker, and this ball is out of here. Justin Bremner with a 3-run home run off the
great hitting from him. Did great on the
high fly ball, right field deep, way back, and it is out of here. Joaquin Rodriguez Costa hit it high and watch it fly. His first home run of the season, and it's 2-1 the count to Nico Frizzell. There's a swing and there's a high fly ball left center field. That one is way back there, and it's gone. Nico, ground ball through the hole between third and short, a base hit. Slanker rounds the corner. He comes in to score. An RBI single for Blake Herman, and the Tarp Skunks take a 1-0 lead. He knows what to do. There's a line drive down the right field line. That is going to be extra bases. Smith will round third. He will score. Haynes rounds third. He will score. Slanker into third. with a triple and 2 RBIs. Redemption indeed. It's 4-2 Jamestown. And it's a line drive base hit into right left field. Slanker comes in to score. Bremner aboard. He's 2 for 2, and the Tarp Skunks lead 5-2. Runner goes as the pitch is driven into right center field. Going back on it, still going back, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Bremner's going to score from first. Into third with a slide is Blake Herman. An RBI triple, and it's 6-2 Jamestown. The pitch. There's a fly ball into right field. That is down for extra bases. 1-run score. 2-run scores. Rounding third, heading for the plate is Costello. He will score a 3-run. There's a fly ball out toward the gap in left center field. Boyle coming over, dives and does not make the catch. 3 runs are going to score. Pulling into second with a double and 3 more RBIs is Slank the Tank, Ben Slanker, and it is now 12-2. And the pitch. Cold, strike 3, breaking ball that Pinaro thought dropped in front of the plate. Just catches the knees. 4th strikeout for Rotowski. And with swing and a miss. Prey goes down swinging. 2 down, and the Americans are 1 out away from going home for the winner. Again, coming set. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And the Jamestown Tarp Skunks advance to the West Division Championship game against either Batavia or Auburn.
Terrific job, Dre. And also, we had cameos. Jason Sample, who you heard that voice out there. It was the Jason Sample. And of course, all the videography was CCS TV. We thank them profusely for job extremely well done. Broke all kinds of records, and on many fronts. I'm going to call up the manager of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, Frank Jagoda, and as he comes up, we also have a presentation. So Frank, I must point out that John Gifford, there was a fundraiser to the American Cancer Society, and John managed to spend way too much money, but he did it, and it's number 33, and that is Frank's number, so he bought it and made sure that every member of the board of directors signed that for you, Frank, as recognition for incredibly job well done. 30 wins. That's an all-time record for the Tarp Skunks. So this is for you. Hopefully it fits.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, you know, I just one point. In case you saw that one clip, there was Frank where they cleared the bases, and there's Frank, who's supposed to stay in the third base, called box. And he's there at home plate. You know, come on.
Thank you, Greg. Well, first of all, thank you, especially to the members of the board, our investors. A number of you are here today. Something like this is, always something special. But good moments and records and things like that, they can't be accomplished without our players. Our players did a great job last year. We had a really good group, and couldn't be more proud of how they acted, and not only on the field, but most importantly in the community, in the dorm rooms, things off the field. Really paved the way for us on the field. Also like to thank our coaching staff. Our pitching coach, Joe Riedebach, who's here today, thank you for all they did. We couldn't have done a lot of what we did without them as well. Our players did a fantastic job, like I said, and we're really looking forward to the 2026 season. Dre mentioned, and you saw in some of the videos, some of the records that were broken on the field, and it was a banner year off the field as well. Like Christian will speak on some of that. There's 8 or 9 total on-field records, from the pitching standpoint, we broke one record, total appearances by Easton Burnett, or total starts, and numerous other offensive records. But those things are a product of the effort that our group put in and day out. We had a large roster last year, as some of you may know, and in the summer, it's important to have some flexibility with your roster because there's various things that come up. Players, unfortunately, some of them get injured, or, we had a situation where there was a death in the family and a player decided to leave for the rest of the summer. There was other things, and you deal with other things such as innings limits or, things that have been planned by players where, they have a date where they're not going to be with you any longer. And so it's important to have a large roster. When those situations arise, you're able to weather the storm. And again, couldn't be more proud of the group that was there, especially the group that stuck it out. We had a lot of local players last year. We had Southwestern High School represented, Frewsburg High School represented, Faulkner High School, or the community represented. And we're really looking forward to having that local touch as well. Currently, our current roster for the 2026 season sets at about 29 guys. We have 11 total Division I commits, 8 Division II commits, 7 Division III commits, 2 junior college commits, and 1 high school commit. Back to the local piece, right now we have 4 local players committed. Branson Lindquist will return, which we're really excited for that. Faulkner native, St. Mary's High School graduate. He is now a freshman at Toledo University Division I program. Aiden Gruber, he's from Frewsburg High School. He is currently a freshman at Clarion University, a very good Division II program and a very good Division II conference in the PSAC. Nolan Smith, who you guys are going to hear from here in a little bit, he is returning. He's at one of the best Division III programs in the country at Cortland University. He was also one of our record breakers last year, setting the single-season walks record with 40. I'm not sure, Dre, maybe that was close to a league record too, I believe, maybe one off of the league mark, I believe. And so Nolan will return, expecting a lot of big things from him. And he was somebody last year who was a leader in our clubhouse, put in his time, put in his work and his effort, and that's somebody we couldn't be more proud to bring back. And then we also have a Maple Grove graduate, current JCC pitcher, Colton McCall. He will be with us this summer as well. And anytime you have an opportunity to bring local players back, it's important not only for them, but for the community. With that said, they have to be the right local players. You have to take the right guys. You have to bring in the right group. On the roster, one thing we talked about as a board after the season, as we had our end-of-year recap, our after-action report, so to speak, we talked about other teams in the league and how they handle things. And we strongly believe that we do things right here in Jamestown, from our player fee structure all the way down to our relationship with Jamestown Community College, which is second to none. But one thing that we tried to place emphasis on was bringing a core group of guys back. So really happy to announce that we'll have, right now as it sits, at least 8 players returning for next year. And so to go through that list, from the position player standpoint, JRC, Joaquin Rodriguez-Costa, who you saw hit the long home run in our beautiful pink jerseys, he'll be returning. He's a freshman at University of Delaware. That's in Conference USA, so that's a big-time Power 5 conference. Branson Lindquist, already mentioned. Justin Bremner and Eric Weeks, they will be returning from Canisius College. Bremner was an all-league second-team selection, and he broke numerous records, such as single-season hits, single-season home runs, RBIs, things like that. Or Haynes broke the home run record. And Eric Weeks, a utility player from Canisius, plays infield, plays outfield, an older presence. Those 2 guys, Eric Weeks and Justin Bremner, as they return, they'll be juniors in college, and they'll have 3 years of Division I baseball under their belt, as well as a year in the Perfect Game League. So super excited about that. Matthew Dumas, who was on the highlight reel with several highlight reel catches, he will be returning. He was a junior college athlete last year. He is now at Division II Erskine in Conference Carolinas, which is one of the best and one of the most premier Division II conferences in the country. And then, again, previously mentioned Nolan Smith. From the pitching standpoint, Jace Ruskowski, who was also highlighted in the video, who closed out our game against Niagara Falls in the playoffs. He's now at Brockport University. He's returning. He's a Western New York native from the Buffalo area. and then Cohen Harris from High Point University. Cohen will be back with us this year as well. So we're up to 8 returners. There's a few more that I'm working on. Some of those guys I would say maybe potentially outplayed the Perfect Game League, and that's okay. That's part of our process as well. Our process is to bring good players in here, players that we're able to highlight, help stream their development and help them move on to bigger and better things. That's part of what we do here. But again, couldn't be more proud of our group, our staff, and really thankful for our investors, the board, and for all the support that we have. And the relationship that Christian and I have is unique in one where we could joke around every single day, but we are on the same page when it comes to what we're trying to do here. We're trying to provide a first-class operation in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, but we're trying to provide an avenue for kids in our community, an avenue for the less fortunate in our community, and an avenue for entertainment in our community. And and I think Christian will probably touch on this, but one of the big selling points for me when I talk to players is you're going to play in front of over nearly 1,000 fans a night. And I think that's really awesome. It is a premier environment in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. My previous life as a professional scout or a coach in professional baseball, I've been to hundreds of cities across the country. And even though there's specific standards that Major League Baseball sets in regards to your facilities and the environment that you're supposed to have, I would put Jamestown in this league specifically right at the top. We do it right here. I couldn't be more proud to be involved in this organization and really excited for what 2026 and beyond brings. Now, Greg, you mentioned you hope this fits. I'm just going to put it in a frame and put it up on a wall somewhere. So I don't think I'll have to wear it again, but, we'll see. It's the winter month, so it may not fit right now anyways. But again, I appreciate everybody that's here, everybody that's been involved, and, the coverage we get from Scott and the crew over at the Post-Journal and everybody here. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing everybody in 2026. And then also, without further ado, Nolan Smith, who I've mentioned a lot. He's going to be joining us he's at Cortland University right now. They have an end of fall team meeting at noon, but we're able to get him on and kind of speak about his experience. Thank you, guys.
Between the coaching staff and the fans and everything, it was really easy. I had a great time last summer, and hopefully we can repeat some of the success that we had this year. So,
Nolan, what was the highlight of last year?
probably, outside of, probably winning our 30th game, set that record. That was the biggest one. And then, off the field, everything we did, in the community, that all was great. So it was probably a mix of those two aspects.
Did you sign a lot of autographs?
Yeah, I signed it. I might think my hand's still there to do that.
Well, that's one of the things that's so important for us is to have interaction with the players, and you were right up there willing to participate and appreciated it so much.
Yeah, it was awesome to have, such a supportive fan base. It's something I've never experienced before, and I just, tried to take it in as much as I could. It was awesome.
You have your manager here in the audience and your pitching coach. Do you want to say anything about them?
Yeah, they were, I guess those two and the coaching staff as a whole, it's a first class, it's about as first class you can get. It's, they know what they're talking about. They help us on and off the field. It was awesome. I couldn't say any better things about any of them.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on in your life right now.
We're just playing baseball, going to school. I just finished up my fall and everything, and about to head home in about a week now. So about to start training for the winter.
What does that really mean for training? What's a training process mean?
It'll be a mix of not on-field stuff, but it'll be hitting, fielding, throwing, all that stuff in a some sort of indoor setting over the winter break, as well as a pretty intense strength and conditioning program that we have here at school. So it'd be a mix of all that stuff, just getting me ready to be on the field and, do everything to the best of my ability.
Well, we look forward to seeing you here in 2026 and being part of the Tarp Skunks. And ironically, we're celebrating the 85th anniversary of the stadium. So you're all part of that ongoing history, Nolan, and we thank you.
Yeah, awesome. I can't wait to be back.
Well, we thank you. We know you've got a meeting, so we'll let you go. But thanks so much and happy holidays.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Happy holidays.
Welcome, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today and take some time to talk about the success of our 2025 Tarp Skunks baseball season. As I was putting this report together, I was, very excited to kind of share this with the group because I remember standing here 3 years ago and saying, we're going to make this a premier experience for our fans, and we're going to grow this even more than we already have that we had in the first 2 years. And I'm happy to sit here today and kind of show the results and not just see the growth over from last year, but how we've come so far as we just hit our 5th season. So I do want to give a big thank you to all of our investors, our fans, our season ticket holders, board members, sponsors, and the community. Without any of those people, none of this is possible, and I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity to lead this great organization. I also want to give a big thank you to our interns. We rely heavily on our summer staff and our interns. So we had 14 interns from 12 different colleges this year, and we had 10 plus staff members in the press box every game. So they're the backbone behind why we're able to do what we do on a daily basis operationally, and that's a huge bonus for us. I also want to extend a thank you to the city of Jamestown and the workers who do an exceptional job of keeping our locker rooms, facility, and field the best in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. So thank you to them as well. Let's see if this works. This way. Okay, no worries. I'll point to you. That's all good. All good. Perfect. All right. So our 2025 season was another amazing and successful season from the business side of our operations. We increased our ticket sales by 15% from 2024, and we've seen a 32% increase from 2021. Kind of going hand in hand with that is our sponsorship, which has increased 8% from 2024 and 171% from our first year in 2021. So I want to, again, thank you to our sponsors and fans. They're that driving force and kind of that backbone of really why we're able to do what we do. And it shows a true testament of how much this community believes in us and how much we value their support, as well as our attendance. Our attendance has remained strong over this season. We're able to continue to hold that strong average and build on what we've built the last 4 seasons. We increased our attendance 12% from last season and 20% from our very first year. We now average over 1,000 fans a game, and that's a really great achievement for us to be able to say. And it's been exciting to see the stands continue to fill year after year. As I gave a little visual representation, you can kind of see where we've come from in our very first year, and every single area, tickets, sponsorship, concessions, even merchandise, it's all increased over last season, and of course our total revenue. So we're doing great on the business side of things, and really it comes down to our fans and our sponsors being such great supporters. So thank you so much. Our group events were another great success for our organization this year. We had 27 different groups in total either come to us for tickets or for group picnic type of events, just over 1 group per game, and that resulted in an 8% increase in concession revenue from 2024 and a 65% from year 1. And that's really, when you're able to run an operation from the business side and kind of focus on the promotions and the tickets and the fans, that's one side of it. But the concessions is a whole nother side of things, and kind of, merging the two together is really important. So I owe a huge thank you to the concession staff, 3C's Catering, Robert and Karen Cross. They do a great job providing for us. And hopefully we can come back here in a year from now and look at these same metrics, whether it's concessions, ticket sales, sponsorship, and see the increase. One of our biggest games this year was our school kids game, was sponsored by the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation. So huge thank you to them. We were able to allow 2,514 students attend our game for free. And we had kids from all over the area, Jamestown schools, Bemis Point, Pine Valley, Panama, Falconer, all attend our game for free. And it's always one of the best days. I'm sure if Nolan was still here, he'd probably say that was a crazy day at the park. Having 2,000 kids screaming. So we're definitely looking forward to doing that again next year, and it's always a bright spot for us. Yeah. Our fireworks nights are also a huge night for us, providing 2 stadium-packed nights with over 2,000 people at each game. And they were sponsored by Jamestown Mattress, Collaborative Children's Solutions, and Culture Care Senior Living. Their dedication to providing firework night is something that I really appreciate, and I know the fans always enjoy. Our first fireworks night actually ended up being the record breaker. We had a new season high of single attendance, or new single game attendance record that was broken for the second year in a row with 2,574 fans. So that's a huge mark for us to be able to. We broke the record in 2024, and we broke it again this season as well. So that was really exciting for us. So you can see how packed the stands were that night.
That's Durwood, right?
That's Durwood, yeah. One of the most special nights of the year was our Strikeout Cancer Night. You saw the jersey that Frank had, and we were able to auction off 44 pink Tarp Skunks jerseys and raise $2,300 for the Italian American Charity Golf Association. They raised money for research equipment at UPMC Hospital right here in Jamestown, as well as for local hospice cancer care. So far we've raised almost $7,000 in the last 2 years, and we donated to a different cause 3 years ago, and since then it's been almost like $10,000 that we've raised the last 3 years. So the community loves it. It's a really great night, and it's a sentimental night. You hear a lot of great stories from people that are fans and have many different ways that cancer has touched their lives or affected their lives. So we're very happy to give back in that way. We also had 16 youth baseball teams join us for some pregame catch, thanks to our Wi-Fi fund, which I know that we're going to touch on probably right after this. Our Wi-Fi fund allows us an incredible experience for our young baseball players in the county to not only meet the players, but play catch with them before the games, get autographs, and really have that interaction. I know as a kid, this was one thing that I loved to do, and when I was here 3 years ago, I was really adamant that we needed to bring this back and do more of this. So I'm glad to say that each year we've brought more teams in, and I know the goal is to bring even more teams in next year. So we're very happy with the way this has turned out, and we're going to make it even better next year. And lastly, our kids camp was a great success. We had 85 kids come and get one-on-one instruction on a Saturday morning from our Tarp Skunks baseball players. The campers got T-shirts, they got lunch, they got to meet and greet with our players. And I want to thank our sponsors who are up here on the screen. And actually in the bottom picture is 2 returning players, Justin Bremner and Eric Weeks. So they enjoyed it. I'm sure they're going to enjoy it next year too. So lastly, I want to touch on 2026. First and foremost, we have some merchandise. If you scan the QR code with your cell phone, it'll take you right to our merchandise website. We just released a new hat, and we also released some winter shell jackets. So actually through Monday, shipping is free if you'd like to order something. But I'm sure we're going to be coming out with some new stuff in April or May that you can get your hands on. So be on the lookout for new merchandise. Triple E we use out of Sherman, and they're absolutely fabulous with their quality. From a communication standpoint, we introduced Vazi 2 years ago, and it's our fan text update system. So if you'd like to be part of that, you can text JOIN to our office phone number up here on the screen, and we will make sure to get you any text updates, game reminders, and updates throughout the season. We're going to be celebrating our 85th year of baseball here in Jamestown this upcoming year. You can see there's some Jamestown Falcons jerseys being worn around here, and that kind of pays a little homage to our 85th year and the first year of baseball here in 1941. So we're going to honor our history here in Jamestown and continue to keep the rich tradition of baseball alive here in Jamestown. And lastly, we're going to continue to provide the same exciting Tarp Skunks baseball in 2026. It's going to be our 6th season of Tarp Skunks baseball, and I know that we're determined to continue to provide a great experience for our fans as well as competitive and exciting baseball. I know that from a entertainment standpoint, we are going to continue to strive to make this a great experience for our fans, and we look forward to a great 2026 season. So have a great holiday, everyone, and we will see you at the park. Oh, one more thing, I forgot. We have season tickets available out in the lobby after. And this year, if you are a season ticket holder, you'll get your very own Tarp Skunks glass. So they might not be dishwasher safe, but there we go. Don't put them in the washing machine either. So.
Thank you, Christian. And I'm going to call up Liz Jones now from the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation. One of the wonderful partnerships that occurred the last year or so ago was with the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation, where there was the creation of a WIFI fund, an opportunity for anybody, anywhere, with any amount of money to contribute to the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation, which in turn would 100 cents on a dollar be converted into fan experience opportunities. And she'll report as to what happened last year, working not only with the Community Foundation, the Tarp Skunks, but also the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame. So, Liz, it's all yours.
Thanks, Greg. So I'm Liz Jones. I'm the Community Impact Officer with the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation. I oversee the impact that we're able to make in the community through charitable grants to charitable organizations and scholarships to students for higher education and workforce training. In addition to that impact that we're able to make through our endowed funds at the Community Foundation, we often partner with different groups and organizations in the community to administer non-endowed funds. And so that is what we do with the WIFI Fund. So the WIFI Fund is a partnership with Randy at the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame. Its purpose is to help make sure that the experience to attend a Tarp Skunks game is accessible for all in the community by helping to offset ticket cost for that. And as Christian talked about, so over the many years that baseball has been a part of Jamestown, there has always been some desire and initiative to help offset the cost and make sure youth can attend games and others from the community. So we're really excited that we were able to partner with Sports Hall of Fame to make this happen again. So the WIFI Fund was established in 2024. And over the past 2 years, the past 2 seasons, it has accepted over $40,000 in donations from, as Greg mentioned, a variety of donors of that can contribute in all sizes of donations, but we hold those funds and then we're able to grant them back out to the Sports Hall of Fame to help offset that cost. So pretty amazing, and glad we can continue this partnership.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Liz. And now I'd like to run a clip, which again, going to wrap our head around what we're doing this year. We'd like to sort of highlight something annually, an anniversary of some sort. And so it turned out that in 1941, there was the creation of the stadium we now know as the Dietrich Park. Has a little bit of history behind it. And in fact, earlier today, I interviewed Russ Eklund, who just had left, and Durwood Swanson, who were there at the beginning, 1941. So if we could run this 3-minute clip, and then I'm going to call up Randy Anderson to sort of wrap our head around it, and then we have a real special guest.
My name is Robert Peterson, and I am the author of Only the Ball Was White, which is a history of Negro baseball before Jackie Robinson. In researching that book, I discovered that Jamestown is worth a large footnote in the history of Negro baseball because it was receptive to black players at a time when most cities were not. In 1890 and 1891, Jamestown was represented in the old New York Penn League. This was a league that preceded the league that the Jammers are in now, by a team, and the first baseman for that team was a man named R.A. Kelly. Kelly was a black man. He had played earlier in Danville, Illinois, in a league there. And the Jamestown papers, interestingly, never referred to the fact that he was black. Jamestown area was represented in the late 19th century by two other entries. Both were in a league called the Iron and Oil League, which was a minor league.
Here's Allen Park, 2000. And visualize, if you will, Johnny Newman hitting a home run down this left field line.
My job this morning is to tell you how Dietrich Park got started way back in 1941. It actually started in November of 1938 when representatives of 21 cities met in Olean to discuss the feasibility of organizing a new professional baseball league. At that meeting, Jamestown, Olean, and Niagara Falls made commitments to field teams in that league if the league ever took off. The following spring, March of 1939, the Pennsylvania, Ontario, New York League, PONY, Pennsylvania, Ontario, New York League, became official when Bradford, Batavia, and Hamilton joined with those three other teams, Jamestown, Olean, and Niagara Falls. Stuart McGuire, who was the sports editor of the Jamestown Evening Journal, headed up the Jamestown entry. They called themselves the Independent Jamestown Baseball and Exhibition Company. Whew, that's a lot of words. They would field the Jamestown team. Just 9 days before the season started, Stuart McGuire became overwhelmed with the financial and time pressures of running the team, in addition to his job at the Post-Journal. So Mr. McGuire transferred control of the team to William F. Broadhead, a well-known Jamestown businessman. The team was known as the Jamestown Jockeys, and they would play their home games at Celeron Park. 1 week into the season, the Pittsburgh Pirates made an offer to purchase the Jamestown team from the local investors. Their offer was accepted, and they renamed their team the Jamestown Pirates. The Jamestown Pirates ended the 1937 season in the basement of the Pony League, and more trouble was on the horizon. The business manager of the Jamestown Pirates, Jim Matthews, informed Jamestown City Council that the ball field at Celeron Park was no longer acceptable for professional baseball, and that the team would leave if a new stadium was not constructed within Jamestown city limits. True to their word, following the 1931 season, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the owners of the Jamestown team, left the city and moved their club to London, Ontario. So Jamestown was without a ball team heading into the 1940 Pony League season. However, in June of 1940, it was reported that Harry Biscayr, the owner of the Niagara Falls Rainbows, was unhappy with his stadium in Niagara Falls, and that he would be willing to move his team to Jamestown if he received assurances that a new stadium would be built within the city. Such assurances were given to Mr. Bisgeier, and he moved his Niagara Falls team to Jamestown in July of 1940. He renamed his team as the Jamestown Falcons, and they played their home games at Allen Park on the city's south side for the remainder of the 1940 season. You saw a little bit of clip there of the Falcons playing their home games at Allen Park. For those of us who have played a lot of different sports up to Allen Park, it's hard to imagine that that was a professional baseball field in 1940. Ernest Kessler, a former Jamestown City Councilman, was the chairman of the Citizens Committee that was charged with raising funds for the construction of a new stadium. Judge Alan Barger was also instrumental in soliciting funds for the group that purchased a 20-acre plot of land on Falconer Street. Construction commenced in the fall of 1940 and was completed in time for the 1941 season. Municipal Stadium was its name. It was built for a total cost, Tony, you listening? They built Municipal Stadium for $60,000. At the season opening game, city officials, local businessmen, the Jamestown Falcons, and the visiting Batavia Clippers, those cursed folks from Batavia, marched down the first baseline, through the outfield grass to shallow center field. The American flag, red, white, and blue with 48 stars, was raised on the center field flagpole as a bugler played the national anthem. Jamestown Mayor Leon Roberts stepped to the microphone in front of the pitcher's mound and addressed the sellout crowd. Christian, pay attention, 4,200 people at the opening game of 1941. There's a mark for you to go for. This is what Mayor Roberts said. What we see here today is not merely brick and mortar. It's not just a field enclosed by a fence. What we see here today is an enduring monument to the efficacy of civic enterprise. I welcome the Falcons to their new home. We hope it will be the scene of many triumphs. We give them our best wishes, and we give them our hearts. We pledge our earnest support, and we know in turn they pledge their loyalty to the city and to give their best efforts. It was Municipal Stadium, later known as College Stadium, when JCC was built behind the right field fence in the early 60s, and now, as Greg mentioned, Russell E. Dietrich Jr. Park since 1997. That would be the sign of many triumphs, 30 of them last year under Frank Jagoda. Mayor Roberts predicted as well that there would be inevitable failures that are part of the game of baseball. While none of the folks who attended the opening game in 1941, Durwood Swanson among them, could have imagined the rich history that would ensue over the next 85 years. It's a legacy that the Jamestown Tarp Skunks are proud to continue. 85 years. Let's go Skunks.
As we saw that highlight clip, we saw the fact that we had Johnny Newman hitting home runs. Now, if you saw that clip at Allen Park, if you think about where that left field line kind of ended up in really the tennis court, it's about a mile away. So I don't know if there was must have been a fence, some sort of fence there. But anyways, Johnny Newman, we're blessed to have his son, Jeff Newman, here. And I know Jeff and John were very close. I had the privilege of being on the Collins Sports Shop team, Babe Ruth, and Johnny was my manager. Jeff was a very young bat boy at the time. Still much younger than me. So with all that, with Falcons jersey on, come on up, Jeff, and share a story or two. That'd be great.
Well, as you know, I'm Jeff Newman, and I'm here to talk about my dad, Johnny Newman, a.k.a. Big John, Sultan the SWAT, the Blonde Bomber, Butch the Blaster, or just Johnny. In honor of 85 years of baseball in Jamestown, I'd like to share some of these stories I have of my dad's time here in Jamestown. His professional career started in 1935 as a player and ended as a manager in 1946-47 in Hamilton, Ontario. He did some amazing things in baseball over the years, probably more than I can talk about, but he was a very humble guy. You'd never hear it from him. He never knew, I didn't know, the stuff that he did until later on. And the people who were close to him said he was a gentleman's gentleman. While managing the Hamilton team, he came to Jamestown for a game. Kids were all outside saying, I want to be the bad boy, I want to be the bad boy. And one kid yelled out, he said, I'll do it for free, I just want to see the game. So my dad looked at all these kids out there and he says, oh, we'll all see the game today. So he took his 2 bags of equipment, dumped them on the ground and said, hey, everybody grab a bat, ball, glove, whatever's there, shin guard, come on with me. So he gets to the gate, and there's the general manager. He says, Johnny, what are you doing? He says, what are all these kids here for? He says, these guys are my equipment managers. He said, what are you talking about? He said, I can't let all these kids in. He says, well, no equipment, no game. Off they went, all of them, into the game. Another good story from my dad is they're playing Buffalo in an exhibition game. So Greg Malevy's going over the rules with Al Vincent, the head of the Buffalo team, and Malevy's the head of the Jamestown team, managing it. And he says, listen, he goes, anything that hits the scoreboard out there, which was 405 feet away, he says, the home run. Vincent says, get out of here. Nobody's going to hit that far. Goes back to the dugout. 2 innings later, my dad gets up. Not only hits one in center field, but he takes one of the numbers out of the scoreboard. Vincent never came out of the dugout after that. He stayed right there. There was a bunch of guys in a group called IPWNC, which stood for I Played with Newman Club. Frank Smirker, who played for my dad in Hamilton, but also played with him here in Jamestown, tells this story of they were in Hornell. He goes, and this pitcher gets out there, and he throws a flame just right by my dad. My dad looks at the catcher, kind of amused, calls it a strike. Second one, same thing. He turns around to him, he says, hey, what's this guy throwing, bullets? Catcher says, just get ready for the third one. Well, that third one came, and 500 feet later, it bounced off the schoolhouse. So, I didn't get that. I didn't get that strength. Anyway, here's another story of my dad. He's at the stadium, and I might be wrong on the umpire, but I'm going to go with it anyway. He's up at bat. Pitcher throws a strike. My dad whips around, looks at him, and says, wow, that was a good pitch. And they start booing. Fans start going crazy. They're booing. Second pitch, same thing. Another strike. Booing. Turns around and says, boy, that was a good pitch. Again, booing. So I think the story went that Joe Nelbone was the umpire. And he said, look at Johnny, you do that again, they're going to come out here and kill me. In 1941, my dad got the key to the city of Jamestown as a baseball honor. A telegram from Samuel Stroth, mayor at Jamestown, states, Dear Johnny, last year we gave you the key to the city and we meant it. We're glad you're going to use it this year, and we mean that too. We'll be looking for you, old roly-poly. And we'll be here looking for that second pennant. You just keep that swing of yours in shape and come back home and hit that spheroid over the stadium walls. By the way, we're going to paint the fence this year, and we won't care if you knock the paint off of it. Good luck and good batting. I just want to say thank you to a couple people, my wife for helping me put that together, because I wouldn't have been able to do that. And I'd like to thank the opportunity of talking about 85 years of baseball. And most of the time, I got the stories after. I had no idea. So the guys who got to see him play and played with him, there were some stories. Thank you again.
Thank you, Jeff. That was just terrific. And as we kind of wrap things up, we've had, a reflection on a huge year last year, the creation of the Whiffy Front, the creation, some great new initiatives. And one of the things that I just want to end with this. We have a star in our midst in the form of Mike Bellani. Mike Bellani, general manager for many, many years, the guy who brought 1 million fans per year, 6, 8 years, broke every minor league record humanly possible. But he's a friend of the Tarp Skunks. He's showing up here today, and is going to spend a little bit of time afterwards to meet with Christian and George and Frank a little bit about what's going on, an initiative dealing with coaches and clinics and that. And Mike, if you want to step forward and say a few words, if you got a minute, we'd love to ask you forward. Mike?
Thank you, Greg. Would you join me in a round of applause for Christian, who has done a phenomenal job. When the Jammers left here and went to West Virginia in a really interesting move, it had a lot of connection here in Jamestown in that the publisher, the owner of the newspaper here in Jamestown, is also the owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and who owns a bunch of newspapers, and he's also an alum of West Virginia University. And as the story goes, West Virginia University wanted a new stadium for their college team, and the state wouldn't do that unless they had a pro team. And so they looked around and saw, that he knew Bob Rich, and amazingly, this team left to go there. But it didn't leave a void here because, Mr. Baseball Jr., behind Russ Dietrich, Greg Peterson, put the college league, and that's really where professional baseball went, because even though it left here in the New York Penn League, the commissioner of baseball, who wants to control all of baseball, eliminated those leagues. Whether it's a good move or bad move, I'll sit with Scott and figure that out later. But Major League Baseball put its own college leagues in that now West Virginia is part of, a Major League college league. But I think what you've done here has just been absolutely remarkable, and it's really at that level that it was before, so you really haven't lost anything. But what I find even more amazing is if we were still here and owned this, and this was the past 3 years, you probably would have had a different general manager each year, because they all look to move up. And the fact that, I'm so glad that Christian and he's such a young guy, but so talented, that he continues to hone his skills here. And what you're doing in this league here in this city is absolutely remarkable. Each year it just grows and grows, and you have now made it part of the fabric of the community, which you have to. And I think whoever came up with the Whippy Fund is a brilliant idea of getting kids to the ballpark, because really all it is a game, and it's a game that we all played as kids. And to see them back here, Christian came up to Buffalo for a ball game the end of the season, and we were talking about, well, what are you doing with youth baseball? When we talked about youth baseball here, I brought up, when Bob Rich took over the team, he said he had 3 goals in 1983 at Old War Memorial Stadium. So long story short, we brought baseball back, and we said we got to get the youth out. And it turned out to be phenomenal. We went into the inner city, and we won an award by President Bush and HUD Secretary Jack Kemp. But we had Terry Collins there, and he said, we used to do in Albuquerque these great coaches clinics. And he put together a pamphlet in that, and we filled up the convention center in downtown Buffalo and had a lot of coaches. So we're going to talk to the powers to be here, and hopefully we can continue that youth baseball tradition here to make the Jamestown Tarp Skunks sort of the mecca of youth baseball in Chautauqua County. Greg Peterson, close it all out.
We look forward to the 2026 season. We look forward to the coaches' clinics. We look forward to Durwood Swanson and Russ Eklund, who were there in 1941, throwing out the first pitch. We want to thank everybody who participated, everybody who came, and feel free, as you leave, to pick up an opportunity to buy your season tickets for 2026. With that, we stand adjourned. Thank you very much.